Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Yo, 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 what is going on tonight, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am your moderator, Ace, and of course, tonight we are joined by none other than Mr. Chris P. Bacon. How you doing tonight, my man?
Doing good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, fantastic. You know, it's a little hot over here. It's a little hot, you know, but other than that, we're doing pretty good. All right, and then
what part of Coos Bay are you in?
You know what? But in our house, it's hot. In our house, it's hot, man.
I was gonna ask him the same damn thing. I was like, how? It's like 92 here, so I don't want to hear about how hot it is in Coos Bay.
Hey, in our house,
like
low
50s.
But anyways, so the person that's talking in right now, if you missed our show on Wednesday, guess who's back? Back again. Vic is back. Vic
Tell
is
your
back.
friends.
Vic is back. Vic is back. Vic is back. That's right.
We own no rights to that music.
Yeah, so Vic, the non-bearded one. How you doing tonight, Vic, the non-bearded one?
I'm doing good. I shaved earlier today, so I didn't want to outdo J-Mac in the beard scenario. So,
Oh, there you go.
Wanted to give him a heads up.
And then, of course, we have J-Mac, the bearded one. So, how were you tonight, J-Mac, the bearded one?
Well, I'm actually pretty good tonight. Everything's good. We're doing well. Can't wait for next weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I'm been looking forward to that for a while. So.
Oh, absolutely! It's going to be a great next weekend. You know, we get a nice, relaxing weekend around the campfire, just kind of kicking it. So, with that being said, you know, we just want to let our viewers know that next Saturday there will be no Sports Minute, as J-Mac and myself will be gone, unless the Vic decides to, you know, run the show and add some people on there. You know, that's completely up to the Vic. So, you know what? We will so you might see Sports Minute and you may not. I guess we'll let everybody know. But anyways, welcome to our Saturday Sports Minute, which everybody knows for Saturday Sports Minute, it is completely open forum. That's what we do on Saturdays. So it looks like, I believe that Diamond, she's saying, hey guys, so hello, how's it going tonight? Mr. Brandon Herrera is saying, what's up?
It's a free-for-all.
So Brandon, how's it going tonight, my man? Okay, so as we know, Saturdays are open forum, and we have a lot to cover. A lot to cover. Yes, J-Mac.
I just want to throw some out there real quick while Chris is still here. We're still doing the YouTube promotion.
Yes, we are.
You go and subscribe to our YouTube page. And I just want to give you a little sneak preview that the prize boxes we're giving away, you might not think that they're going to be super awesome, but I'm telling you right now, just look right here. This is just a preview of what's in here. It's the Olympics, right? We're all talking about the Olympics right now.
Ooh.
That's only one item, and there is 10 or 12 items in this box. So think about that. You guys want to know if it's something great? To me, it's something great. Okay, you're getting that shirt, a bunch of other nice stuff, and we're going to give away two. We have two of those set up to give away.
Is there a lightsaber in there?
There might be a lifesaver in there.
Lightsaber.
Lightsaber. Did you say? Yeah, you said life, and she said light. But anyway,
lightsaber. And just I
have lifesavers.
I was just saying, there's a hat. There's a pop socket, there's books, there's movies, there's all kinds of stuff that we're giving away. So get your name in there because we're going to give away two of those great
I want it.
packages.
Where do I put my name?
Go subscribe to our YouTube page.
Okay, and we'll see if you can win it. Yeah, we'll see if you can win it. But I'm sorry.
I put the link in the comments, so.
I'm sorry to Vic. I'm sorry to say, but you know, you can't win that. My apologies. But anyways. So we can go ahead and just jump right to it because, you know, we do have a lot to talk about. And, of course, the first thing we're going to talk about is something that we're going to discuss live before we came on. But we're like, you know what? Let's save it for the show. And, Vic.
Yes.
This one's going to come to you right off the bat. With you being, you know, a huge college football fan, a huge Oregon Duck fan, I'm personally a Wisconsin Badgers fan. But I want to know,
There's no accounting for taste.
With all these changes that are completely going around college football, like, what are you gonna do if there's like a power conference that they go, 12 teams are gonna make it from this conference in the college football playoffs? Because the way it's looking, that's how it's gonna go. But what is your opinion on this whole disaster that's going on in college football?
I don't like it. Just like I don't like the whole super team concept. I don't think it's not in the, I don't know, it's not, I don't know what I'm working for. Like the game. Like, you don't want to watch Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Texas A&M all in one conference. Because the chances of all of them making the playoffs aren't going to be good because they're going to be playing each other.
That's good, though.
Why is that good?
I know,
why is that good? Because then the little schools that everyone's like, oh, they go undefeated, they shouldn't get a chance at the college football playoff. Well, now you could have a 3-loss Ohio State team in conference, and what would the argument be for them getting in over an undefeated team?
Because they're Ohio State.
But
it doesn't matter.
I don't like Ohio State, but that's the argument that would be out there.
If you think about it, though, if they have this huge, if the SEC just continues to grow and grow and grow and grow and get all these good teams in there, eventually, college football is going to be like, well, this is such a strong conference that we're just going to take like 12 teams and just put them in. We're going to take the 12 teams in the SEC and put them in. That's kind of the way it's going because they're going to be like, there's no other conference that is strong enough to make it. So we're just going to do it on the SEC side. That's the problem that I'm seeing right now, is that if they continue to do that, that's what's going to happen to college football. It's going to kill the playoffs entirely because it's going to be all SEC.
That is true. Majority of the teams that make it to the college football playoff is normally out of the SEC. And I think, Texas and Oklahoma, they kind of see that, and that's why they moved over to the SEC, because they're seeing that majority of them from that conference go.
Well, okay, but they also had an opportunity to go to the Pac-12, and I'm sorry, but am I gonna pick the SEC or the Pac-12? And it's not even close.
No,
not even close.
No, but this is the problem that we're talking about. This is the problem. Because all these teams are joining the SEC, it's going to kill the way that the playoffs are done. It's going to kill it. Because college football is not going to be interested in the Pac-12, the Big 10, the Big 12. They're just not going to be interested, or even the ACC. They're not going to be interested in these conferences anymore.
And it's also killing the Big 12 because now 2, maybe 3 other teams are looking to switch conferences too. They're
absolutely
going to Big 10.
The Big 12's toast, Chris. I'm sorry to tell you.
No, I agree.
The Big 12 is gone. I mean, they're toast as far as that goes.
Because of those 2 moves and maybe 2 more, 3 more.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. Maybe that you think that it's because of those 2 moves, but the Big 12 has been in trouble for years. It's not just been because of these 2 moves. This has been
Missouri left, Iowa left.
Once you got Missouri and Texas A&M to go to the SEC, that was the writing on the wall for the Big 12. All the other schools were going to move. They were going to go to different conferences, and that was just the way it was going to be. And you're talking about this happened 30 years ago with the Big 8, as it was, when you had all the Texas, Oklahoma, TCU, all those teams down in the Big 8, and they all ended up, some of them left and then brought in other teams. So the Big 12 is not going to be a conference. I just say, I mean, they're not going to be a conference anymore.
Well, yeah, because look at some other teams that are potentially going to join the SEC, potentially. Ohio State, Michigan. So those are like...
But that's not smart on their part. It's not smart for Ohio State and Michigan.
No, it's not.
Because you're going to go into an SEC that's going to have a mega conference. That's not smart for you because you're now competing with 19 other teams. Where if you stay in the Big 10, you can run through the Big 10. You're going to own that conference, which should give you a bid into the college football playoffs. So,
let me say this, because Brandon Herrera is saying that the Big 4 is going to be Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12, and ACC. No, I don't think so at all. Because if I'm telling you this now, if Ohio State leaves and Michigan leaves, Big Ten is not going to be a power conference. They're not going to be, because they basically lost your biggest moneymaker in the Big Ten, which is Ohio State. That's your biggest moneymaker. They leave, Big Ten is no longer a power conference.
Yeah, I mean, they might be a power conference. Here's how I see it. I see if Ohio State and Michigan leave and go to the SEC, then the Big Ten's still going to be a conference because they're going to absorb all the schools from the Big 12 that are no longer Big 12 schools because there's no conference. So then all those schools will go to the Big 10, and you'll go to the Big 14 or the Big 16 or whatever it comes out to.
Maybe, but okay. And so Christy Wilson is asking, what about Notre Dame? Do you think that they will stay independent? They're going to, because we see it every year. We see it every year. They end up making the playoffs and they just get thrashed in the playoffs. So I think that because of how badly they do when they actually make the playoffs, I think you're going to see them be like, we don't want to join the SEC, we don't want to join the ACC, we don't want to join the Big Ten, because they're just not going to have that same luck that they do in the independent side.
Well, being an independent allows you to make your schedule however you want. By the teams that don't have conference games those weeks, you can play big schools every single week, so you can have a strong schedule. But if you're in a conference, you can't always do that. So,
right,
I agree with that they're going to stay independent. I think that's the smartest move for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And so, now what do you think? Now, Vic, since you're Pac-12, what do you think that this is going to kind of destroy the Pac-12, or do you still see the Pac-12 as a power conference?
And not just because I'm biased, but I see this as a power conference. I mean, the teams that are in the Pac-12 right now, I can see us adding a couple more, maybe, but they're all, there's USC, Chip's going to get everything together in UCLA with Dora the Explorer. So, I mean, they play each other well, and it's, I can see them adding. They're talking about maybe adding like Nebraska or something like that, but I don't know.
What the hell would that do for you?
Yeah, that's Nebraska's not going to do nothing.
It'll allow us to kick the crap out of Scott Frost.
Yeah, but then you're bringing Nebraska from the Big Ten.
That's just what I read, and whatever's on the internet is true. I live by that rule.
Right? Yeah, you got to
read it on the internet. It's true. But I think we'll still be a power conference. I mean, not just because I'm an Oregon fan, but Oregon's up there every year. I mean, we've got a really good recruiting class coming in for this year and next year, and Cristobal is doing his thing, and a lot of people are seeing that, and with the NIL, I mean, Oregon and Nike, that's gonna bring a lot of more talent to the Pac-12, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vic's pretty spot on with that. Oh, here we go, agreeing again. I see really like three conferences, to be honest. I see it being the SEC. I see the ACC and the Big Ten combining to make one conference, kind of, what do you want to call it, the Midwestern Conference or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're going to have your Southeastern Conference and the SEC. You're going to have your Midwestern Conference with the ACC and the Big Ten. And then you have everything out west with the Pac-12 become the Pac-16, the Pac-20. I'm not sure with that. But I see it being three major conferences. So I think the Pac-12 will stay one of them because they'll absorb they'll take all the teams that the other conferences don't want. And because you still have USC, you still have UCLA. Those are huge names in college football. No matter how good they play year in and year out, there's just still names. Stanford's still a smart kid school, so that's still going to be a big name. Oregon's still a big name. Like, I razz Vic about this all the time because they choke in big games all the time, and that's just kind of their MO. but they're still a big name in college football. So you can't. That just doesn't go away. It's kind of like saying Alabama's good, but there was that one game, so that makes them not good anymore. Like, I'm sorry, Oregon's still a big name on the West Coast. So you still got Oregon, USC, UCLA. You still have those big names, and that's still going to make that conference worth something. But 3 power conferences, I think, is what you're going to have.
I think they're gonna. Yeah, I don't know. Too many teams. I mean, you're not gonna. If there's a Pac-20, or Pac-15, there's not enough games for us to, each team to play each other.
You wouldn't. You would end up playing kind of like now, where you play everyone in the North, and you only play half the teams from the South every year.
But it'd cut out. It'd probably schedule like Atlanta, Alabama to play everybody. At the bottom of the
the
conference.
schedule's weird on that.
So, J-Mac, answer this question really, really quick. Chris, I don't know if you've actually answered this question. Everybody knows my team is Wisconsin Badgers. Vic is Ducks. Chris, what are you?
Longhorns.
Longhorns. And J-Mac, I don't think you've actually answered this question ever.
I don't talk much about my college football team because I don't have much to talk about. To be completely honest, so
North Dakota.
my school will never be in a power conference. We were in a power conference when the Big East was still a power conference, and we haven't been a big school since. We've won 7 games in the last 3 years combined, so I have really nothing to talk about. My college football team that I actually pay to watch, and I don't understand why. I guess I'm just kind of crazy. Is actually the University of Connecticut. That we haven't been good in years. So, but rooting interest, I'm gonna root for. I'm in the Pac-12. I'm always, even though I give her a hard time, I'm gonna root for the Ducks because they're 15 miles away. I can almost hear this roar from the stadium from my house. So, one of the kids does a lot of stuff with scouts for cleanups and all that stuff, so I'm always around the stadium during the season. And then, of course, Wisconsin, being a Wisconsin kid, I'm always rooting for them too. So Connecticut's my 1, and then that would be, 2A, 2B, whatever you want.
Yeah, that's... I just always wondered that because you never actually came out and exactly said. And so I'm like, it's like...
And you can understand now why I don't actually come out and say what my college football team is. It's like rooting for the Diamondbacks in baseball,
Oh.
It's like rooting for the Pistons in basketball.
True. And I hear how much slack you have to take for that, so I just don't want to talk about it.
Right, because so now you got to get flack for your college team. But anyway, so we had a good discussion here on some things that were going on around college football. Whether or not these changes keep happening, I really think it's going to happen. But of course, now the next thing, because I kept telling Vic, on Wednesday that this would be something that we would talk about this week, and I know that she's been super excited about it because she's back. And generally, this is a topic that J-Mac and I talk about on Saturdays at least once because, we're fans of them. And Vic is now also, she's a fan too. So now she can join in the conversation on that too. We get to talk about the Atlanta Braves. So with the Atlanta Braves, we ended up just steamrolling the Phillies tonight. So now, so far, out of 3 games, we've played them in this series. We've taken 2 out of 3. Hopefully that doesn't mean that we're going to lose tomorrow. I'm really hoping not. And hopefully Drew Smiley's injury isn't too bad. From
Kick him out right now.
From what I saw, it was kind of a injury to the leg. That's kind of what. Yeah, knee. I'm sorry, it was knee. But it didn't say how serious it was. They'll know more tomorrow. That's what Snitker's saying. But so, Vic, I want to see, because since you haven't been on here and haven't really discussed this with us over the course of the season as MLB has been going on, and J-Mac and I have been talking about the Braves, we've sat here and said that a big problem so far this year with the Atlanta Braves has not only been injuries to key players, but it's been to our bullpen. Our bullpen has been utterly atrocious.
And inconsistency. I mean, that's Do you realize that I looked this up today, by the way, after we scored 15 runs today against the Phillies. Atlanta will be the third team in history. If we don't have a winning record, we'll be the third team in Major League history, and that's a long time, okay? At least since 1900, right? The third team in history to score 15 runs in 6 or more games and have a losing record on the season.
Mm-hmm. So
think about that.
So Vic, would
Yes.
you agree with our assessment that a part of our problem, besides injuries, because we know this year for Atlanta we have not been able to catch a break as far as injuries happen, but do you also believe that our bullpen this year has been killing us?
Yeah, I'll answer those in just a second. I just want to take a moment to actually celebrate Freddie Freeman, who had his streak of 35 consecutive plate appearances without a swing and miss busted today. But how appreciative should we be of Freddie Freeman right now? 35 plate appearances without a swing and miss.
Yeah,
Dude is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got Dansby
Sign him
Swanson
and
that
pay
can
him.
go like 4.
Pay him whatever he wants.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, our bullpen is just... I don't know if it's just a bad bullpen or that Snitker just can't manage a bullpen. Because if you have a 1 or 2 run lead, do not put Shane Green in there, who has a 10-run ERA. Don't do it. Don't give him a chance to find his stuff. He's got a 10.78 ERA. Let's not put him in with a run lead. Let's not do that. No.
I completely agree with you, Vic. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say I looked up a stat because I'm a stat guy. What can I say? I looked up a stat that the San Diego Padres are 40-1 this year. Think about that, 40-1 when they have a lead after the 6th inning. Because of their bullpen.
We're like 1-40 probably.
We're not quite that bad.
But we're pretty bad.
We're pretty bad. I think when I looked it up today, we are like 13-31 or something when we're leading after the 6th inning. So it's pretty bad. I'm just saying it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and what I'm saying though is the interesting part about it is when you look at our bullpen is not that much different than last year. It's really not. The only key part we lost was Melanson. Other than that, our bullpen is pretty much the same. So something has happened from last season to this year. So I don't know if Vic, that's where I agree with you. I don't know if Snitker's just mismanaging the bullpen or if last year was kind of a fluke on our bullpen part to where it just kind of all clicked. I don't know. But something right now has to change if we're gonna make a run. Because with the way we're looking right now, I don't even see us in the playoffs. With the way we're looking right now.
Last I saw, we had 22 or 23 bullpen losses. If we win half of those games, we're in first place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And Will Smith is not the best pitcher in the Braves bullpen.
He's trash.
It's Tyler Matzik right now for me, who's the guy I'm looking at if I need a good inning. Him or Josh Tomlin.
Luke Jackson this year though has been good. He has been good.
Sure. That was
his ERA is like 1.
ERA.
Yeah.
He showed himself tonight. He showed his true colors.
But he's now up to 2-point-something ERA. Because tonight was 2 runs but 1 earned. And every pitcher's going to have a bad game. But Luke Jackson this year, he's been solid out of the bullpen. He really has.
I'm still bitter.
Hey, and I don't blame you. I would be too. I've never trusted him. But the problem is that something has to change with our bullpen.
Yeah. Alex needs to trade for somebody. I mean, we got a minor leagues full of outfielders and not enough places for them up in the majors. Get us some bullpen arms. Pache hasn't been in the majors for a while.
Oh God!
He might be able to draw in some pitchers.
Please no.
I'm saying trade him.
Yes.
Trade him for some pitchers. Bring up Drew Waters.
Because I saw this. So on this Braves page I'm on Facebook, I saw these guys talk about. Look at Pache. He's like, he is.
Brandon needs to go. Get him out.
I know.
He's done.
I know. They're like, Pache, he's been tearing it up in the minor leagues. He's He's got like 6 home runs and 18 RBIs in his last 30 games, and I'm like, but he can't play at the major league level.
Not yet.
Dude hit like .95 in the major leagues.
Yeah, it
Before we
has
sent
not
him
been
down.
good. It has not been good.
And think
Your
about this. I
Waters-
mean, so this is the most amazing part for me, Vic. You'll probably agree with me on this. Believe it or not, we'll probably agree. So we're 48 and 49 right now.
Yeah.
1 game under 500 with a win today. Now that puts us second place in the division, which is amazing at 48 and 49 in the
Right.
season we've had that we're
How bad
second
does our
place in the
division
division.
suck?
Right. But my point on all of that was we've had 7 catchers. 7. Start 2 games or more for us this year. 7. We have had guys like Gilmy Heredia and Arazia starting in the outfield, and Ender Inciarte, and the list goes on. We have had 11 guys start a game in the outfield this year, and we've had 7 catchers, and we're 1 game under 500 and 3.5 games out of first place.
And how many starting pitchers?
I don't have
it's
that
crazy,
stat, but
yeah.
but think about that. Like think
Yeah.
about if you're right. If we win half those games, we're in first place, and we are the most beat up team in baseball.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, because the Mets actually lost tonight 10-3. So that's,
We have nobody in our outfield that started on opening day
Jock Peterson did.
for us.
Oh,
yeah, for us.
Well, he's gone for a minute, so you guys still there?
yep, still here.
Okay. So we're talking about that. So again, we have no starting outfielders from the start of the season. When we had
Yeah.
Acuna and let's see, we had Acuna,
Pache and Ozuna.
Pache and Ozuna, and we have none of those left, and we're still 1 game under 500 and 3.5 games out of first place. That's astounding. And the problems that we have had in the bullpen, it's amazing that we are where we are in the season. Just think about that. So
I just want to choke our
First and
bullpen.
first, or somewhat first.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's crazy. So I don't know. I think we're kind of done talking about that. I got to get you guys' take on something. We talked a little bit about it last night on the Four Bros radio show, which, Vic, I understand but you're an honorary bro, and we'll get you on that show someday if you want to come on. Are you willing to come on? Because we'd love to
Yeah.
have you. Yeah, okay.
Four
So-
bros and a chick. Yeah, sure.
There we go. Yeah, why not? Anyway, we talked about it a little bit. We talked about the new rules the NFL put down.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they are
Harsh
going hard on this. I read the one today that said that if you're a non-vaccinated player and you break COVID protocols, for every time you break COVID protocols, you're fined $15,000,
Yeah.
Maybe more. But
maybe
at least
more,
50.
depending on after 30 it gets dirty. You know what, Brandon? I am so glad you brought that up because. I got K&A Custom Crafts working on that bit because our slogan for the Four Bros radio show is We go at dark 30 because it gets dirty. 4 bros. Yeah. It's great. Anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But what do you think? What do you think about these new rules? What do you think that the NFL is going the right direction or the wrong way?
Absolutely, 100%. You know, it's a touchy subject for a lot of people to getting the vaccine, but you know, with my medical stuff, I mean, I'm not going to take a chance. I still wear my mask in stores because I don't trust people. My immune system's still improving. And, you know, if my family wants to come down for Thanksgiving or Christmas and they're not vaccinated, they're not coming down. That's, you know, I think that it's the way it needs to be. I mean, and it may be, you know, people saying it violates their HIPAA rights. They obviously don't know what HIPAA is. Asking if you got the vaccine doesn't violate your HIPAA rights.
No,
but I think,
it does not.
I think if you go in there and you violate the protocols, you're putting, you know, yourself at risk and everyone around you at risk. So you need to, you know, it needs to be, they need to, you know, slam it down.
They need to think about it like if their family members, if they would have had it, what would happen? You would feel bad about it, you know. Same thing.
And I don't want to wear a mask forever, but until I feel comfortable, I'm going to. And that's just, you know, and it's not because I'm I'm scared or I'm, you know, anything like that. It's because, you know, my immune system is crap, basically. And I'm not going to take the chance. So I totally agree with the NFL. I think that it should be higher fines, but I think it should be mandatory. If you want to play football, you got to get vaccinated. But
I am back.
My opinion. Back again.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes. So Ace, what we were talking about the NFL, the rules the NFL has put down and how we feel about those. What are our Well, the one that came out today that said that if you are an unvaccinated player and you break COVID protocols, you're going to be fined $15,000 every time.
I mean, thing about it is should it be the person's choice? Yeah, but the NBA, you know, kind of implemented the same thing. They had COVID protocol rules that they had too. But what?
I can't open my Gatorade.
Oh, I was like, what is so funny? So
I can't open my Gatorade.
So they kind of had the same rules. Now, should it be a person's choice? I mean, yeah, I mean it really should be, because I don't really think that they should make you get one if you don't want to have one. Now, me, you know, I got it. You know, the wife got it. It was just a personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay, but I think the only rebuttal I have to that is you also have in a contract where it says that during the NFL season, during the NBA season, the MLB season, that marijuana is a banned substance. And if you choose to partake in that and you get a dirty UA, you're going to get suspended. So, if this was part of your contract that said if you want to play a sport, you have to have this vaccination and you choose not to get one, then you're choosing not to play.
Yes, if it's in your contract, I do agree with it. But if they're not going to put it in your contract and come out and say, you know, for what? How long what?
How long until they do, though? Because
no, I mean, it could. They
I'm
could
sure it's already
decide
there for the rookies signing. I'm sure.
Yeah, it could be. I'm just saying, if it's in the contract, I agree that you should have to do it. But if you're not going to put it in a contract, then I guess you really can't make them do it. If it's not going to be in the contract.
Either put it in the contract or say it's mandatory. Like they have for coaches. Like it's not in their personal contract, but it is mandatory.
Yeah, but you're still gonna have to have something in writing that the players are gonna sign.
Well, I mean,
so in the end, ask yourself this question. I guess this is because this is a question I ask myself. Are these players willing to lose a year's salary to not get a vaccination and play football? If they're so against it, are they willing to sit out and do that? That's how I look at it.
To me, it really depends on the person, because there's some of them who have made so much money that they go, it doesn't matter if I sit out a year. They already have, there's majority of them that have so much money anyway, that if they sat out a year, it really wouldn't be a big deal to them.
I mean, I get your point, but I just
But that's going to put an animosity in the
locker room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, this
it
guy
could.
can't even get a shot to make sure, to play for us and help the team as well as keep us safe. We don't even want him on the team. So
Trust me. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. I'm just saying that, to me, should they get it? Absolutely. I do believe that they should get it. But I'm saying, should they be forced to if it's not in their contract? No. I just think that you have to put something in there. If they're going to get it, you got to have something in there that states you need to get it. Or else you really can't do it.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. Right now, they're basically saying you have a choice. You do this, or you don't do it. And if you don't do it, and you break these protocols that we put in place that you do have to follow, and you're caught doing that, then you're just going to pay us some money to do it. So I guess in the end, for a player, if I'm looking at it from a player perspective, what's worth more to me? My $15,000 for every time I break a protocol, or sitting for 5 minutes and getting a stupid shot? Like, I don't know.
Right.
I guess for some people that's a matter of principle. I get that, but just saying.
For some people, it really is a matter of principle. That's really what it is. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
They believe that it's going to put a tracker in them.
Yeah. So
they do.
So
have you not met your smartphone? Your smartphone's already doing that.
I know. You know what drives me crazy is when you get everyone that rushes in the store at the last minute when you're closing, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you were closing," and you're like, "Oh." It's all. Wouldn't it be awesome if you had this device that you could hold in your hand and ask it what time a store closes? That'd be awesome if we came up with that technology.
Oh,
Or just read it on the door. I mean,
right, exactly. So that's getting off topic, but I'm just saying that's just like that. But the other NFL rule, Vic, did you hear that one for the teams?
I don't think
Which
I
one?
have either.
So the one that says that if your team cannot, so say your game's postponed because of COVID, and your team can't make it up during that week, you forfeit that game.
that's what college football's doing.
You
Absolutely.
lose all your money for that game, plus you have to pay the opposing team's travel and all the stuff that they lost for that week because of your team. So what do you think of that rule?
I like it. I think they should be held accountable. If you're making the choice not to do something and it causes people to lose money.
But what I don't understand is why does the other team, not the team that has to forfeit because they can't play, but like if the Cowboys and Patriots were playing, Cowboys had to withdraw because of COVID issues. Now both teams are without money. Why do the Patriots have to be without money? I'm just curious. I'm just using that as an example, though.
Well, no, I get your example, Chris, and I'm completely with you on that. But I think the whole point of it is they're telling you can make this choice if you want, but it is going to hurt you in the end. It's going to hurt for a team to not want to play or not get to play a game in a week. And I got to hit on Joanne's comment real quick. The reality is, and I totally agree with this one right here. This is exactly what we're talking about. Joanne's, I'll get to Brandon's in a minute.
Yeah.
The reality is they aren't volunteers. We all have rules and regulations at our places of employment. They aren't saying get vaccinated, just follow protocols. They are free to look for another job if they choose. And I have had that conversation with many people this past year. Just saying. Your employer does have the right to give you a rule.
Yes.
Because you're not a volunteer. You're being paid to be there. So... And then the same with Brandon saying, at my job, if you get the shot, you don't have to wear a mask. But if you do not have the shot, but pick not to wear a mask and get traced due to a report of contact with COVID, you will be fired. Absolutely.
That's what my job is. If you have the shot, you don't have to wear a mask if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree with both of those.
And that's how at least 95% of businesses are. I mean,
Exactly.
to an extent, you know.
And it's not a perfect, though. It's not a perfect science. We know that.
No.
Because there's going to be those
No, it's
people that
not.
tell you they have it and they don't. So,
And that's why I still wear a mask.
but I'm just saying, they're right, though. You're not a volunteer. And I mean, so as an example, Vic, if your job said you have to count every pencil in that drawer before you go home every day, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't sign that contract when I signed up for this job. You can't tell me to do that. What do you think your boss is going to tell you?
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
They're going to say, okay, I mean, you're free to look for another job then, if that's
Yeah.
the way you feel about it, because that's the reality of the situation.
But here's the thing, though, too, on that side of things, though, too, is when you're talking about that. You know, I get the whole, you know, you're not a volunteer thing here. But, you know, there are actual, like, regulations and stuff that states that an employer cannot force you to get vaccinations, and they cannot, you know, get rid of you or fine you for not getting any types of vaccinations. They can't make you do that.
But they're not saying that. And actually, just to paraphrase what I was saying is, they're not telling you to get it. They're telling you if you choose not to, then you have to follow these rules.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Which
if
is
you don't follow the rules, you face a
if you don't
consequence.
follow the rules, you face a consequence, which is completely in their right as a corporation and a business, because the NFL is a corporation and a business.
That I get, but what I'm saying though is, like, because people were asking me about the whole thing about, you know, should they have to get it, you know, but that comes down to the whole regulation thing again. Did I get it? Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, it is kind of a personal choice, and technically a business can't really make you get it because it is a personal choice. Because there is certain religions because there are certain religions and stuff out there that people have that they go, I can't get them because my religion says I can't. So
Well, nobody's saying they're making them get them. They're saying if you get them, you can do this. If you don't get it, you have to do
can't.
this.
Yes,
and if you
which,
don't
no.
do this, you're fired.
Yeah, which I completely understand that, but
Yeah,
you know,
And that's the stand that they made, and they have that right. People forget often. Go with me on this for a second, Vic. But people forget often that corporations and businesses do have rights, just like consumers do, or just like your workers do, or the people that come into your business. You have rights too. You have the right to tell somebody how it's going to be when they're in your business. And so an NFL executive does have the right to tell a player, do it or don't do it. That's your choice. If you do, this is your rules. If you don't, this is your rules. You have to follow those. And if you don't follow these rules,
There's
it will hurt.
consequences. Yeah.
Plain and simple, breaking it down, that's how it is. Where do I stand? Matter of personal choice. I completely agree with that. I completely agree. Don't or don't. That's fine.
Yeah.
But please follow protocols if you don't. That would be what I would say.
And I agree it's personal choice, but, you know, it's also my choice that if you are not vaccinated, I'm not hanging out with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You have that
Absolutely.
right.
All right.
Family or not, I don't care.
No, it's fine. So, you know, we've had, you know, some good conversations tonight. You know, we started out with a little bit of the, you know, NCAA football, then we jumped to a little bit of MLB, now we jumped to NFL. But let me ask you this, have any of you had any chances to watch any of the Olympics yet? Or
Why
you know,
is skateboarding an Olympic sport? Please, someone tell me.
I found a funny clip.
I just need to
earlier.
know. How is that even a sport in the Olympics? I'd rather watch curling.
well, it does take skill
And
to
I hate
skateboard.
curling.
It
I
does
can
take
skateboard. I skateboarded when I was 12.
Well, I'm
It's
just
not
saying-
an Olympic sport. It's like surfing. Surfing's not it's not a sport. It's not an Olympic sport. It's a sport, not Olympic.
You're surfing on real water.
What qualifies as an Olympic sport to you, Vic? I'm
Not
curious.
skateboarding or surfing.
Bowling.
I mean, it's your opinion. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I was literally just asking a question.
It just, I don't know. That's X Games. That should be that. That's, I don't know. It just makes no sense to me.
So
It's just like they're making up things that can be Olympic sports just to have them.
Yeah, so just to give everybody an update as of right now, China is currently sitting in first place with 3 golds, and they have 0 silvers, but they have 2 bronze. Japan is currently in second with 2 golds, 1 silver, 0 bronze, and then the United States is in third with 1 gold, 2 silvers, and 3 bronze. So that is currently your top 3 as of right now, and then Australia and wow, I don't know why I don't recognize that, but
What is it?
ROC?
Oh, that's Russia.
Russia. Okay.
They got sanctioned.
Did you watch the opening ceremonies and see some of those countries?
Yeah.
I don't even know half of those existed.
All right.
Population 12,000, and they have 2 athletes.
So Vic, you know how great I am at useless information. Like we all know that. I've showed it on the trivia show here, right? I remember we were doing a thing on Sportsminute where we're doing this trivia, and Adam asked some ridiculous question about like where Liechtenstein, Linsenberg crap, that was the answer to the question, and I said you could show me where that is on a map, and I wouldn't know that country. I feel you completely, Vic, because some countries I'm like, that's a country? What?
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
The opening ceremonies are pretty cool. I watched those. Those were
They were cool. The opening ceremonies.
And then they changed their name like every Olympics. It seemed like the country changes their name to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are the top 3 as of right now: China, Japan, and the United States. But it sounds like it sounds like nobody right now has really had the chance to watch any.
I watched
swimming
archery.
today. I watched us win this gold and silver, the 400 men's IM. That was pretty cool.
I saw a little bit of jousting.
Individual medley for anyone who doesn't understand.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
I
J-Mac,
like acronyms. Sorry.
Have you had a chance to watch anything yet?
No, sir. I have been at work.
Sometimes it's hard to catch.
I'm gonna watch it on Tuesday for sure, though. Tuesday's my day off. I'm gonna watch some Olympics on Tuesday.
So Ukraine and Switzerland are both at the bottom at 23.
The Ukraine's still a country?
Yeah. Ukraine has one medal and it's a bronze medal.
Third place is better than second.
Third place is better than second. Okay.
Yeah, because you were that close to first. But if you're third, you were that close to first, so you feel good.
But I thought the
people that get the bronze are happier than the people that get the silver because they didn't almost get it.
Yeah, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
Hell, Bobby, you could be second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. You could even be eighth.
Oh,
but you said, hell, Bobby, I was probably high when I said that.
If you're not first, you're last.
I do want to bring up something about the Olympics that I read today.
Okay.
Makes me very unhappy with the Olympic Committee.
Go ahead.
There was the female track runner, Shara, whatever her name was, that got disqualified because she had a positive test for...
Oh, yeah.
So she was disqualified from the Olympics, but they allowed a fencer, I think it was a fencer, or some dude that is being investigated for sexual assault, who his teammates didn't want him to come. They signed a petition to make him stay like 30 minutes from the rest of the team, but he's still there. So it upsets me that she was banned, but he's still allowed. That upsets me. I think they have a double bias, and I mean, she was in Oregon. Pot's legal in Oregon. She didn't break the law. Let her run.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, but it's still one of those things. It's like when you look at the NFL and everything, that if that even if it's legal in a certain state, but you do it, you still can't, and so
Right. My whole
it's
thing
kind of
is
one of
if-
those
is-
things.
I don't. Whoa. See, I don't know if
What?
you want me to go. I don't know if you want me to go off on this rant, but here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you,
Do
look,
it.
Vic, I'm completely with you on it's your personal choice about the vaccination and all that.
Uh-huh.
Don't get me. So before I go on this rant, I just want you to know that, okay? But
Okay.
let me tell you something. For the 14 months that I had to listen to this bull crap every day about a case count and how many people had this shit and how many people in the hospital and all that. But you know what nobody's talking about? How many children are taken every single freaking day and sold into child exploitation and given into human trafficking and child prostitution every single day of our country. And why don't we talk about it? Why don't we? You ask, why don't we talk about it? Do you know why? Because of the pedophile ring that runs this country. And I'm sorry. I should probably not go off about this, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, we should probably not go off about it. But anyway,
It's the distraction. It's a distraction. But it's the point she made. This is a bigger problem though someone decided to, partake over some sadness of losing their parent, but someone else, made someone feel uncomfortable in a sexual assault case, but that's probably not as bad as the person that decided to make themselves feel a little better that day.
I just find it very hypocritical.
Just saying.
Like
Just
Chris
saying.
said, yeah.
no,
I mean,
it
if
is-
you're gonna come down hard on someone for that, then you need to make it even across the board. One's worse than the other, and it's not the pot that I'm talking about.
So we've had I think we had this conversation while you were gone, Vic, about why people hate Tiger Woods so much. Think about it. We've had athletes that have killed people from drunk driving. They have done all this other stuff. The guy cheated on his wife. I'm sorry. I get that that's a bad thing morally, but really, why do we hate the guy so much? He didn't commit a crime.
Ray Lewis killed someone.
That's my point exactly. And he was still and we just blackballed Tiger Woods over the fact that he made a mistake. He got into his own head and felt this way. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's morally right, but he didn't break the law. He didn't hurt another human being. I'm just saying, man. All that kind of shit irritates me so much.
It is. Well, yeah, that's why we're all around there now, because it's kind of the hypocritical stage in a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. And it's not only that. You look at all these, with how many times has Josh freaking Gordon in the NFL been reinstated
I know, right?
and had chance after chance after chance after chance?
When you got talent, you're willing to overlook things.
Should it be that way?
No.
No, it shouldn't be. But that's when it came to the hypocritical stage on certain things, because the dude has had chance after chance after chance, and it hasn't really changed. And yet he filed to get reinstated again. So now it's going to come down to whether they let him come back again.
If
So
he
it's
couldn't get
gonna
his shit
definitely-
together in Seattle, it's never going to happen. Because Russell Wilson is a positive influence, and if he couldn't get Josh Gordon to straighten out,
No one probably can.
no one's
honestly.
going to.
Yeah, no one's going to.
So James Gonzalez actually left a message that said, "I just remember my mom and aunt was pissed at me when I thought that the Tiger Woods wasn't a big deal, because it was his
wasn't.
personal life. It wasn't his personal life, and people had to bring him up like a monster because of what he did. Do I condone what he did? No, but he didn't break a law."
Didn't
And
kill
so-
someone.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they blew it up. They blew it out of proportion and said, "This is why he's a monster. He should never be allowed to go." I'm like, what did him doing that have to do with golf? It had nothing to do with golf whatsoever.
Yeah.
We still let Roethlisberger play football for 13
Oh, don't even get me
years.
started there.
13 years.
Don't get me started on that.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Michael Vick got out of prison and played football.
What Michael Vick did was distasteful.
I refuse to watch
Oh
Pittsburgh,
my God.
the Jets, or the Eagles. I hate all three of them because they all signed him. Atlanta, I will watch because they nixed him. But those other
Just saying. Just saying.
come on.
What he did was inhumane. Okay? And he got back into the game, and everyone's like, oh, but he's a changed man. He's reformed. But we blackballed Tiger Woods. Everyone was like, oh, I'm not buying Tiger Woods anything. Tiger Woods, no.
There's two things you can never come back from: animal abuse and child abuse.
Oh yeah.
Those are non-forgivable issues.
And apparently, cheating on your wife is bigger than both of those.
Yeah,
So
you're blackballed. Everybody hates you. You're a horrible person. But hey, go out
It
and
really is.
fight dogs and kill them and brag about it and you make money from it. And then, go to prison. But then get out of prison and sign an NFL contract and play some football.
Yeah, the only thing that I ever said about Tiger Woods when all that went down was, before that went down, Tiger Woods was making $71 million a year. Okay, $71 million a year. Buick was paying him $7 million to write the word Buick on his golf bag. Well, when all this went down, Buick said we're gonna pull it. We don't want you to put Buick on your golf bag because of this. And people are actually like, oh, poor Tiger. And I'm like, the dude's still making $64 million a year. You take $7 million. He's still making $64 million.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous, the whole fallout, and the things that we get upset about are not the correct things that we should be getting upset about. That's all I think that's the point Vic and I are trying to make. Like there's so many more things we should be upset about than what we actually get upset about. And I'm sorry, but and I agree with Christy. Michael Vick never should have been allowed back into the NFL.
Agreed.
And look, I'm hot button topic. I get it. Colin Kaepernick. Whether you agree with what he did or not, did he hurt anybody?
Nope.
No.
Did he kill anybody? Did
Nope.
he? No, nothing. And he can't get a chance back in the NFL, and he's blackballed for doing that. And he hurt nobody. Think about that for a minute.
That's bull.
That's disgraceful. That's what that is.
I know people are trying to put it off like, well, he doesn't have any talent. The dude has talent. He didn't get the
went
team
to
to
a
a Super Bowl
Bowl.
for. I mean, it's a fact that he angered the wrong people, and they said, "Well, then this is what we're going to do to you." And then when they went through the whole NFL, everybody's kneeling, everybody's Black Lives Matter. Colin's still not playing, but everybody says it's okay now.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
and even veterans were like, "We get it. We fought for his right to do that. He's protesting peacefully. He's not storming the Capitol and beating people to death with iron gates. He's just kneeling, hearing the anthem."
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it is, and like I said, I don't want to go into too far of detail about that because
Don't go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, because of the whole political stance. And
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely. Okay, yeah.
But I was saying that I don't think a lot of people understand where that actually started from. Like people immediately think it was Kaepernick who came out and started it, but it wasn't. It was actually a military man who told him to go out there and do it, and then there was the Army football team that actually before a college game kneeled, and everybody said it was fine. So I don't know, but anyways, I don't want to get in a rabbit hole. I don't want to go too far into politics. But anyways, yeah.
Well,
so,
real quick, I'll just say, James, I agree with you. It's all about talent and fame. If it was Joe the plumber, he wouldn't have a job. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that, we're at that hour mark. So I do want to thank everybody for watching another episode of Sports Minute. Crispy Bacon, you go first. You have 30 to 45 seconds to wrap up whatever it is you want to say.
Thank you guys for watching, commenting, and interacting with the show. Remember to go to the YouTube link or go to our Coast to Coast Facebook page and click on the YouTube link and subscribe for our contest, and make sure to tune into Between the Ropes tomorrow evening.
You can win a prize. All right, so J-Mac,
Yes!
J-Mac, you got 30, 45 seconds.
All right, this week's going to be a little different. We got different people on vacation, some people doing their own stuff. So we are talking about doing a special thing here where our biggest sponsor in paparazzi will be live to sell you some great jewelry. We're still working on the day and time for that. Stay tuned for that because it will be a great, great thing. I know Vic will be there, and we'll all be there. We'll all be there supporting her, so make sure you do that. And that's all. Hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching.
And, of course, Vic, the non-bearded one. How about you?
Only today because I shaved. Ronald Acuna Jr. had successful surgery on his knee. He'll be back in a year. So send out your prayers that our stud man comes back. Braves won 43 days till kickoff. J-Mac will appreciate that. I'll be screaming. Hopefully he'll hear me from Watson.
Super.
I can't drink
Super.
beer, but I'll drink a Pepsi for you.
Super excited for kickoff.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. You know, we appreciate it. You spending your Saturday night with us. I mean, what else you gonna do? I was watching Beat Bobby Flay reruns, so I mean, Saturdays are not for fun anymore because I'm a grown up. But yeah,
right.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. YouTube, all that good stuff. Tuesday, paparazzi. Buy some jewelry. It's only $5 and it's awesome.
And, of course, Vic, thank you and welcome back again. It's your first week back, and we are so glad to have you back again. So thank you for that.
Glad
and,
to
of course,
be back.
Of course, all of our viewers and the Crispy Bacon, thank you for running the back for us while you're also, out here talking a little bit of sports. Thank you to all of our viewers. And with that, I hope everybody has a fantastic night, and we will see you again on Wednesday for another episode of Sports Minute. Have a good night.